Dave here with
Road Trip Rich.
and we are at the National Museum of the United States Air Force, and we're gonna check this up a little different here, more than just looking at planes. It's October. What's that mean, Rich?
Halloween.
Halloween. There's some reports of a couple of haunted airplanes and helicopters in here.
And a boxcar.
Boxcar's an airplane, Rich.
No, the railroad boxcar. Supposedly a little boy hangs out there.
Boxcar's an airplane. Dropped the bomb on Nagasaki. I'll be in charge of the history. Rich will be in charge of the ghost. What do you say we go on in and check it out?
Let's check it out.
Here's the old B-24 Liberator, Strawberry Bitch. It's supposed to be the most haunted plane here in the museum. Now, what we're reading was that they heard a lot of lights and clicks inside there and banging inside, right, Rich?
Yeah, and supposedly one of the janitors got slapped.
Yeah, I guess a night janitor was in the area and he got one of these slaps across the face. Maybe made some comments about the young lady on the side here. Who knows? But what happened with these was the most dangerous position was the belly gunner. And your belly gunner would be underneath here. And they've detached it for the display here, but it would be a ball turret like you see right here. So there would be a guy underneath, and he was a real easy target for enemy fire, and also if there's any problem with the landing gear and you're on that when you're coming in for landing, you were killed. So the theory is that the one of the belly gunners who died during a mission haunts this particular plane. So what I'm gonna do now is a reenactment of this slapping here. So say there's an unsuspecting janitor looking guy like this, minding his own business, and gets the old whap there.
Who was that?
Rich, I noticed you were reading a little bit more about the ball turret gunner there. Was there anything interesting on there?
No, it was a poem written in 1943 by
Why don't I zoom in?
can't see. Randall?
Randall Gerald. Very dangerous position, but this is supposed to be the most haunted plane. This is the tail of the Strawberry Bitch. Here's some of the side gunners, and me and Rich are trying to determine exactly where the ball turret would have been under this. Now I noticed an opening right here. Rich seems to think it was a little further up, so anybody who has a little better knowledge of this particular plane can put a comment in there and straighten us out. Now this is the ball turn on the Memphis Belle, which is a B-17, so it's going to be a slightly different setting than the B-24, but it'll get you kind of a better idea of how these are set up on a plane. And here would be the tail gunner portion of the Strawberry Bitch. Car you were talking about. Yeah, this isn't haunted. Never flew once. 0 flights in this thing.
You don't have to fly to be haunted.
Yeah, but it's not what they're talking about. And
prisoners of war.
And why I say you're probably wrong is I would not understand why a Japanese child would be outside of a boxcar that was in France.
True. You got me on that one.
But the real boxcar is just around the corner here. Let's go check it out. It's the real boxcar. The plane they say ended World War II. The legend on this is there's actually a young Japanese child that at night when the place is closed, they'll see roaming around the outside of this. He's a good kid though. I haven't heard about him slapping anybody. There's a big boy. And a plane like this, we'll probably dedicate a more thorough video to at some other point in time. But we're just doing the ghost walk today and seeing if we see any ghosts. See any ghosts yet, Rich?
No, I don't see him.
Well, I couldn't hear you. What? You saw one?
Yeah. Little kid up there in the window. Look. See his eye? See he's leaning over?
Yeah. Our next supposed haunted plane is this UH-19B Chickasaw called the Hop-Along. See it along the side, and reports on this are is they see the last pilot in it in the driver's seat, flipping switches, flicking lights, and supposedly there's still his blood stains on it. Now, unfortunately, we can't see that seat.
No.
Let's see.
Get the hell out of here. Get home.
Yeah, there was a lot of people died on this. This was an operation in both Korea and Vietnam. Here's kind of a picture of it in action here where they were hoisting up troops, and I'm sure many of these guys were injured or probably even shot as they were being pulled up into the plane.
Well, that's the main purpose of the helicopter is medevac.
All right, we're trying to take a little better view from the front. Maybe we can see the pilot in there flipping switches and doing some light. What's that, this gentleman here, the mechanic of... Excuse me, sir, you seem to be a permanent resident here. At night, do you see any suspicious activity? Hello?
Yeah.
Strong,
military, man.
strong Thailand. Yeah, top secret missions.
Top secret.
This is the bay door I was talking about before from the picture here where they would hoist people up, injured, sometimes dead, and take them to a MASH unit. Yeah, like you'd see on MASH.
Yeah, so
well, Hawkeye would take care of them and hopefully get them home safe in one piece. I kind of wish they would have had the front of that closed so we could see the Hop-Along a little better. But you guys get the idea here. Very widely used helicopter in a couple of our major battles of the 20th century there. Excuse me, police conflicts. Korea and Vietnam, yep. Just gonna take a round, walk to the other side here. We aren't seeing any ghosts today, and I think it might have something to do with being daylight and a lot of people here.
Because everything they're night people.
Yeah, and another thing is too, kind of big burly guy like me. These ghosts are intimidated by me. They don't want to mess with me.
One look at you and they just turn running.
Oh, come on, man! Now I'm having a bad hair day, but not that bad. One last look at that pilot seat. Yeah. Nobody in there today. We're now this Skorsky, easy for me to say, CH-3E, better known as the Black Mariah. This is another one supposed to be haunted. You can hear allegedly the voices and moans of those who died in this. This went on a lot of secret missions. Until it was restored, this helicopter was still riddled in bullet holes. But supposedly inside of there, at night again, you'll hear the moans and voices of those who perished on this particular helicopter. Rich, you gonna spend the night here in the museum? Night in the museum for you?
Yep, I'm gonna do it.
You wouldn't make it an hour.
No.
Rich,
have the same effect on ghosts as you do.
No.
We repel them like women.
Yeah, okay, good point. No cool copter here, but we got one other spot we're gonna hit at the museum before we call it a day. What do you say, Rich?
Let's check that last plane out.
Let's do it. Our final stop is the famous SAM 2600, which many of you may know was the final ride for a young John F. Kennedy after his assassination. He was boarded aboard this plane, and they took out some seating. And
it was back here. Right back here.
Well, yeah, right up in here. They took some seating and stuff out because they didn't want to put a president's body into the
the first
storage.
lady, she's the one who said, no, you're not putting them in the
storage, luggage, or whatever you want to talk.
So she had that. They made that up there.
But
so
one of the latest ghost stories you hear here at the museum is actually of the most famous ghost you could think of. JFK's ghost, and the rumor is that he walks, they don't see him outside, but they'll see him walking out, looking out the windows there. I don't know, is kind of peeking through, maybe just trying to wonder where he is now, you know. We walk to the other side, just give you kind of a broader look at the plane and the paint scheme they have on it here for Air Force One.
Yeah, so we're talking about paint scheme. Dave, do you know who designed it or picked out the colors for
Air Force One? Actually, no, I do not.
It's Jackie Onassis.
Jackie Onassis, huh?
And supposedly the paint scheme, I think, is still being used today.
Yes, it is.
They just got a new plane out, didn't they?
So,
President's getting a new plane.
Speaking of Jackie Onassis and the ghost of Kennedy, you think there's any Marilyn Monroe ghost inside of the plane here?
Yeah, no.
That's
she stays at her home in Brentwood.
See, that's a ghost I wouldn't mind seeing there.
Same here.
What do you got going on here? You gonna make a little purchase?
Yeah.
What you buying?
I'm gonna get a coin.
Well, which one you getting? Come on, your suspense is killing us.
$5 each or 3 for $10. You might as well get 3.
Or 6 for $20. Now, if you get 3, you know that'll leave one of these that you don't have. You're gonna have to put another 5 in there, right?
No, I only get 3.
Well, you put another 5 in, get the. Well, you have to get the.
Yeah.
Valkyrie. Can't go wrong with any of them, Rich. Come on, make a decision, man.
There.
Just all you gotta do is let's see these coins here. Let's see if they're worth. Shiny. Shiny. You're gonna be the best at heads and tails now. So what's heads and what's tails? Oh, that looks like heads, I'd say. Tails, definitely.
Yeah.
And what's your third one there? All right, we'll start flipping some coins. All right, that includes a little ghost tour of National Museum of the United States Air Force. Rich, what'd you think?
I think we need to come back after dark.
Think we can sneak in?
I'm game. Let's try it.
All right, I'll follow you. Hey, that's going to do it from the Air Force Museum, and who knows where the toll road will lead to next.
See ya.